Okay, that should be right.
Well, we're sitting here together, Robert Davidian and Grandma, my grandma, Varsen Magarian.
Varsenik.
Well, Varsenik, doesn't that mean little?
No, Varsenik, it's an Armenian name, real typical Armenian name.
Oh, I thought it was Varsen.
They shorten it, they call me Varsen, Varsi, but my real name is Varsenik Magarian.
I call you Grandma.
My maiden name was Balayan.
And when were you married?
1923, April 15.
You remember the night?
Of course I do. How could I forget it?
Where were you married?
In Greece. I got engaged in Constantinople. Now they call it Istanbul, Turkey. I got engaged in Istanbul. Then we escaped from the Turks. You know, we Armenians.
What year was that you escaped from the Turks?
From 1922.
Okay, let's go back a little bit, okay? Before that, when you were a child.
No, I was born in Marsovan, near Black Sea. Our seashore is Samson. But
Samson?
It was Samson. S-A-M-S-O-N.
Oh,
Samson. So, 1915,
right.
There was a massacre.
Yes, terrible.
And terrible. So,
this is in Turkey. You're in Turkey.
In Marsovan. It was hit very badly.
But before that, you had a nice big house.
Yes, and before
your mother, your father.
Yes, let me tell you.
Okay.
I want to give you the information where my house was located. The address was my house. My father's house was located on Sofular Mehlesi. Sofular is the name of the street.
Oh, I have this written down. I have it all.
Sofular, and between the government, walking distance to the government, and also walking distance to the American College. And it was one of the like an avenue. You know.
Have indoor plumbing.
Indoor plumbing, everything was...
Modern conveniences?
No, not modern.
Oh.
We did not have electricity, but later on, of course, they had it.
Yeah.
Now, when my father was in hospital, he came out and he started going on his business. After the British, we had a little freedom.
Right.
After the British came. And of course, I was in a boarding school to be safe from the Turks.
In Greece?
And in Marsovan.
Oh.
So in Marsovan, still we are in Marsovan.
Okay.
So, but my father was starting to do business, traveling to come to Samsun and take care of Istanbul business, and called from Manchester. He had another branch in Manchester. And he called the representative in a very high-class restaurant to give report what the business, how the business is going. And this English-speaking representative, they were Armenians, so they tried to cheat my father 300 gold pieces. And my father, of course, did not have the education as much as the other, but he was so alert and bright businessman, successful, that every move they did, he sensed what was going on.
Right.
So they spoke English, thinking that my father wouldn't understand. They were cheating him. So right away, my father started sensing that there is something going wrong. He left dinner at a very high-class restaurant called Tokatlia. So he said, "Good night, gentlemen. Thank you very much." He said it in English, and right away they were very sorry that they will be fired. And they called him back, "Mr. Balayan, please forgive us. We did a big mistake. This will not happen again. Don't fire us. Please give us another chance." And this is how my father was successful. Every move something did wrong, he sensed right away.
Right.
And another thing amazing about my father, that he did not have schooling, only he knew the Armenian alphabet and reading newspaper. He educated himself by that. And instead of Armenian languages, we have double sounds in Armenian. So he didn't want to go through that, and writing, the spelling was a little hard, taking too much of his business time. So he made his own shorthand. And he taught to the workers, these representatives, that he corresponded to the 5 branches, Yozgat, Çorum, Samsun,
with his own little
with his own Marsovan.
You're going to tell me about Marsovan?
Yes. Now,
This is where you grew up.
Yes, that's where my birthplace is, Marsavan. So my father's name was Hampartum, that means resurrection, Hampartum Balayan. He was very successful merchant, and he had 5 branches in Yozgat, Çorum, Marsavan, of course, Samsun, Istanbul, or
what kind of
Constantinople. Wool, he was a producer of wool, virgin wool, and my grandfather, Kevork Elbekyan, produced silk. He had a silkworm field. So they were both very successful.
So
and
there was lots of money, and there was a big mansion.
Mansion with swimming pool, acres and acres, property, vineyards, fruits, plenty of everything. He was really one of the top successful merchants in Marsavan.
Yeah.
So, but unfortunately, the 1915, it came to an end, let's put it that way. They always put me in boarding school, and they moved to Samsun, and he was...
Samsun is in Turkey.
Samsun in our seashore. That's about, with the horse wagon, it takes about 3 hours,
So
3 days.
How did you flee the Turks?
We escaped from Turkish because
Money.
There was American missionary in Marsavan. We had Anatolia College, hospital, and theocratic school, and my father lent money all the time before the massacres. He never knew that that help will come handy to him
So
and
it paid off in the
save at the end our
the whole
family.
Yeah.
Because Dr. Martin was the doctor, specialist of the head doctor of the hospital, American hospital. So when they knew that there is some trouble coming over Armenians, massacre coming,
They helped your father.
And he said, Dr. Martin said, I will operate on you and save your family because the things are looking very bad for Armenians. So and he said he also. They were Christians, of course, missionary. He said, temporary, use a Turkish name. Put your little girl, I was 10 years old, put in a Turkish costume, so they won't know that she's Armenian.
What was the Turkish name?
Turkish name, my name was Vasviye. And my, I don't want even to mention my Turkish names because it was only for a short time until British government sent soldiers, and right away we had our freedom for a short while, and this is how we escaped from Marsavan.
British government helped.
British came over.
What year was that?
That was 1915.
Oh, good. Let's talk about your father a little bit, real fast.
All right. My father was
What happened in 1915, actually?
1915, he was operated, he was saved in Dr. Martin operated on him to save my family. He really did not need any operation. But then we came to Samsun. I was still in American school, boarding school. Then the Turks got him. He was rich man. They wanted money. They dipped him in the ocean, beat him very badly, and he really got sick. While I was going to play the piano recital, after my piano recital, I got the bad news that my father was dead. Then, of course, I went to Samsun, joined my mother, my family, then my grandfather's family, both families. We came to Istanbul, Constantinople. Now it's called Istanbul, Turkey. Then I got engaged. I went in British high school and American high school, missionary high school.
And you met?
Then I met my future husband. My principal introduced to George Magarian. So this is how I met my fiancé. And then I got married.
How long did you know him before you got married?
A very short time.
You weren't allowed to go on dates?
No. I was not allowed to go on dates. My mother was very strict. I was not allowed to. to. But when we came to Greece, Salonika, he was sent to Smyrna to take the fire
Movies of the fire.
for the fire. And then we were separated at that time. When he came back with his family, my family, we lived in an apartment, brand new apartment. He came back, we got married April 15, 1923.
Right. Then you moved.
Afterwards, we came to America, husband and wife, and my first baby was born 1924, January 16.
And then your next baby?
Next baby was born, my Margaret was born about 5 years later, and then my family grew up. I have 6 beautiful, wonderful, smart grandchildren, 2 great-grandchildren.
Beautiful, wonderful, smart.
Wonderful, smart, including Robert sitting next to me. And really, I'm enjoying, this is Jehovah's blessing, God's blessing. I'm enjoying every moment of it.
And you have
they
great
respect me. Yes, I have 2 great-grandchildren, beautiful, very smart too. So this is my story.
And I surprised you today.
And today, 6 o'clock in the morning, I woke up. 6:30, Robert calls me up, Grandma, I'm coming up. Come up, I said, this is a wonderful surprise.
All the way from California.
From California, all the way from California.
Well,
He's sitting next to me, enjoying it.
Well, I really thank you for talking with us, and we'll talk to you again soon, okay?
Okay.
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 Say